Basic Appraisal Principles, page 447, continued. In real estate, the same cost applies. For example, John Hanson, a real estate investor, is looking for his next big real estate deal. There are two properties that he's interested in investing. One is an existing building that is going to be converted from apartments to loft-style condominiums. The other is a project for a new construction of sophisticated condominiums. Both are located in the same neighborhood of a large urban city. John's analysis can give him much of the data that he needs, but one element that he can't know for certain is whether the buyers will prefer to be willing to pay more for the new construction over the converted properties based on the information he has and page 448. His many years of experience investing in real estate, John has decided to invest in the new construction of condominiums. However, shortly before the project completed construction, the neighborhood saw a shift in its market. Because of some changes in the neighborhood, the market is predominantly first-time homebuyers who are single and like the image associated with loft-style living, unlike the seasoned homeowner who was downsizing from the suburban home to move to the city to be closer to work, entertainment, and the arts. As a result, John did not realize the same level of profit had he chosen to invest in the conversion project. The difference between the profit John might have made on the conversion project and the smaller profit that he actually made on the new construction project is the opportunity cost. 4 agents of production principle. The 4 agents of production, when assembled for the purpose of creating wealth, create a business enterprise. The 4 agents of productions are the following. Number 1, capital, financial resources. Number 2, entrepreneurial coordination, which means management. Number 3, land, which means natural resources. And lastly, number 4, labor, which means employment. Capital is the finances used for creation of the product. Money is used to pay for buildings, equipment, administration, overhead costs, and so on. Entrepreneurial coordination is the ability of the entrepreneur to use capital to invest in land and labor to generate a return or profit. Land refers to the natural resources provided for man's use and can include things such as land, water, or air. And labor is the actual work conducted by man to create the product. For example, last year, Patty, a maker of stained glass designs, yielded $200 worth of stained glass product. To generate that selling price, Patty incurred $25 to rent her kiosk, $50 to pay labor, $75 for product supplies. The remaining $50 compensates Patty for her entrepreneurial efforts. The illustration in the upcoming section, Principle of Increasing and Decreasing Returns, is a great example of the 4 agents of products. The developer, the entrepreneur, invested money, capital, to purchase a 10-acre site, land, to build homes, the product, with the intent to sell for profit. It is through these forces of production that the developer has the potential to create wealth. Extra tip to remember the 4 agents of production. The acronym CELL, C-E-L-L. C is for capital, E is for entrepreneurial coordination, L is for land, and L is for labor. Extra note, needs to be in balance, and it's covering all four of the four agents of production. Page 449, surplus productivity. Surplus productivity is the net income remaining after the agents of production have been satisfied. Any additional funds that remain generally are attributable to the return on land. For instance, value of the land. Principles of increasing and decreasing returns. In the principle of increasing and decreasing returns, we start with the four agents of production that were just discussed: capital, entrepreneurial coordination, land, and labor. In terms of residential properties, we typically think of land and improvements. When the appraiser conducts an analysis of increasing or decreasing returns, one of the agents of production remains constant or fixed, such as land. As the entrepreneur continues to invest into the other agents of production, for instance, the improvements, these other agents increase the value of the property and increase the overall rate of return. This investment in improvements continues until a point of economic balance is achieved, which is when the land and its improvement have reached their highest and best use. At this point, if additional improvements are made to the property, the investor will begin to see a decrease in return on investment. It's at this point that the market is saying it is not willing to pay for these additional components. For example, a builder will likely receive increasing returns as he adds additional square footage of gross living area to a single family home. However, at some point, the market will respond by paying less per square foot of gross living area, GLA, and the builder will start to see diminishing returns. The market will only be willing to pay a higher dollar per square footage up to a certain size home, as determined by the market. A market that consists predominantly of 1,200 to 1,500 square foot homes will generally pay incrementally more per square foot of GLA until the amount of square footage begins to exceed the typical size home. For example, a developer just bought 10 acres of land and intends to build single-family homes. His analysis of the local housing market allowed him to 1. Estimate a construction cost of $55 per square foot, and 2. Estimate sale prices. The optimal rate of return is easier to identify when the data in table 16.3 are turned into simple graph illustration. See figure 16.5. The highest rate of return, 14%, is achieved when the improvement is constructed to the 1,600 square foot specification. Extra note, you've earned more than all bills paid.